Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. As you can see, today we're getting started with some dollar store DIYs. So this first up project, I grabbed these rings. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with them when I bought them, but I got some inspo from some kind of bubble looking vases and stuff that I've been seeing around, and I wanted to recreate that but for a planter. I'm trying to do a little plant wall in our office downstairs, and I need a bunch of affordable planters to put together, so this is going to be one of them in my new office. So I just got started by taking off all of the stickers and making sure they were all clean and good to go. I grabbed out my glue gun, and all we're going to do is hot glue them together. You could make this as tall as you want. You could make it quite tall for maybe a snake plant or something, or you could make a shorter one. I ended up doing 5 stacks of rings, and I think it turned out really good. I think anywhere from 4 and up would look really nice, depending on the size of plant. And if you found different size rings, you could make multiples and kind of stack them together. So I think it will be a fun little project. So now that everything is put together, we're going to get started on painting. I just grabbed some paint from my stash of many paints, and this color is actually called terracotta clay, so it's very, very similar to a terracotta color. It's just a little lighter. And I just added a little bit of baking soda to it to give a little bit of dimension to the paint. I'm just mixing it up with a rough kind of brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and brush the entire thing with paint. You could tape this off and do a two-tone. There's so many different ways you could make this your own project, so definitely give it a try. If you're looking for an affordable planter, you could put a vase inside of this if you wanted to do actual flowers in water in here as well. And at the end, we're going to add a little base to it as well. So nothing super structural, but it will at least hold a plant. All right, on to project number 2 while that dries. So I started with these 2 pieces that I also found at Dollar Tree, and I have been inspired by the pedestal type stands that I've been seeing around, and I wanted to create that for a little storage in our house. So I went ahead, just used my hot glue. I do think next time I might try super glue just to make sure it's on there really well, but so far so good. And I'm just gluing the 2 pieces together, and then I'm going to take it out to our garage into my spray tent, and we're going to get started on spraying it. So what I had seen was people using textured stone spray, and I had some, so I thought it was perfect. So I went ahead to start trying to spray it, and it's actually broken. The nozzle wasn't working, and I think it's actually clogged inside. So I had to pivot. I tried a few times. I tried to clean it out. So if anyone has any tips on how to clean these out, please let me know. And I pivoted my project and grabbed just some black spray paint, and I put on my handle this time. And this thing is a game changer. I felt like spray painting was so much easier with this handle. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at the hardware store. It was fantastic. I highly suggest if you are spray painting anything, they're great to have. The other way you could do this project if you don't have a space to spray paint is doing the same technique we used in the last project, where you just mix your paint with some baking soda, and you could use dollar store paint and just paint it right on. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick coat of clear. I waited about 30 minutes after painting the black, and then went ahead and cleared it, and then I left everything overnight to dry in the garage. All right, and on to project number 3. I'm going to show you the end results of all the projects at the very end. I styled them all together, so stay tuned. I grabbed this air clay. I was thinking it was going to be more like the air dry clay, but it is air clay. So it's a lot lighter. It's very light. I did feel like it took quite a while to dry. And same as the first project, when I bought it, I didn't really know what my plan was for it. So I just started making pieces, moving things around, and then I kind of got the idea to make a little coaster out of it. So I decided that I wanted it to be shaped like a rainbow. So I went ahead and made all of my pieces, my little rounds and everything, and squished them together as best as I could. And it was actually really fun to play around with this stuff. So if you're looking for a quick little project or something that you could do with your kids, it showed on the package that you can make all kinds of stuff and then just paint it. So it's a definitely a good little thing to just keep in your craft stash. And again, I'm just grabbing some paint out that I have. You could paint this with whatever paint. You could add the baking soda for texture again if you wanted, depending on where you're putting these. I have mine set out as a coaster, but I think it could also just be really cute as a little decor rainbow in maybe a nursery or something. You could hang them up in a window. Really, you could do whatever you want. So get creative, and yeah, I think it's a fun little project just to do on a Sunday afternoon when you're feeling a little bit of creativeness. And I should mention, I also found the air clay at Dollar Tree. So if you guys are looking around, they had tons of different colors. I went with black just because I wasn't really sure what I was going to make. And yeah, it actually turned out really cute. So I think it's a fun way to just kind of have a chill project. Okay, we're jumping back to project one now that everything is dry. I needed to create a base for this so that I could set a plant into it. I still suggest carrying it by the bottom. I don't think that hot gluing a base onto it is going to hold a plant very well, but it will give it some support. So I went ahead and started by tracing out the outside of the planter and trying to cut it that way. So I cut out a circle, and once I actually put it together, you could see it from the bottom. So I went ahead and I traced the inside of the planter, and that worked much better. And I was able to just kind of set it just inside, and it was easy to glue on, and it seems very stable. I've had a plant in it for a couple weeks now, and it has been great. So I think definitely give it a try. I do have the plant in a pot inside of it, so I leave all my plants in their little nursery pots, and I put a tray under them to change them out if I want to change out my planter quickly or anything like that. So just a suggestion if you are making this one as well, just so that the bottom doesn't get soaked or anything, you'll want a tray under there. But it actually turned out pretty cute, and I'm excited to show you all 3 projects. I think they all turned out pretty well, and I was actually able to style them all together. I think the little pedestal stand, I would like to add something different in later, but I will find the perfect decor to go in it and style it up. And other than that, I'm really happy with all 3 of these projects. Stay tuned next week for another video, and I can't wait to see you guys. Have a great week.